Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating it's Saturday, December 31st, 2016. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized soul presences continue to be only child souls from deeper, denser dimensions, cellular, molecular, atomic, subatomic, etc.
That's true.
And Nature Realms Guardians. Those are the only authorized soul presences here. And there's a big deadline tonight. By midnight tonight, all of the energy that has been used, borrowed, stolen, or participated in from these physical host lives or ground zero host lives,
That's true.
denser dimension host lives, these two lives right here, the energy used in 2016 is supposed to be returned by tonight at midnight, or the souls in question are supposed to be assessed treble damages.
That's true.
Now, it's been pointed out to us pretty solidly this morning that the Karmic Records are wrong, and the Nature Realms has a strong intersection of interest with the Search for Truth community in straightening out the Karmic Records. So we believe that's the direction the videoed portions, formally videoed portions of today's efforts are headed in, but we could be wrong. As always, our foundational intention is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan, since that's what our soul contracts commit us to doing. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin. All of us who are ready to acknowledge the Karmic Records are wrong to the Search for Truth Central Axis, all others flung away. Somebody up there is saying, well, how can I tell if the Karmic Records are wrong? In other words, they're not already sure that the Karmic Records are wrong,
Yes.
but they don't have a gross attitude, and they seem to actually want to know how to tell.
That's true.
And so what has worked well for us is to take an example of an experience of your sentience where it didn't go well, where things went poorly, but where you were sure that you were following the advice from above, and to see how that hit the Karmic Records. Did the senders get the demerits, or did you get the demerits? And then after you've done that first test, to pick another example where you're even more sure that you spent a lot of time figuring out what the instructions were, really working to discern, doing your best and saying, okay, I'm headed in this direction. I think this is what you want me to do. Is this what you want me to do? And getting that nodding confirmation.
Yeah.
And then you did whatever it was you thought you were supposed to do, and it turned out terribly.
Yes.
And now ask to be shown the Karmic Records for that event. Who got the demerits?
This person is saying, well, I did.
Yes.
I did.
Try another one, because has that been the case for both tests?
Nodding. Yes, both of them.
Pick another event in your life where it didn't turn out well, but you really spent a lot of time trying to discern what the voices, the higher voices, the soul presences, the guidance sources that you're listening to, what they want you to do.
Yeah, I got it.
And you feel like you did what they wanted you to do, and it turned out terribly.
Yes.
Okay, now see who got the demerits.
Well, I did. I did. They didn't.
In those three cases, does that feel correct or incorrect?
Well, no, that doesn't feel correct. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, and shaking the head, no.
That's right. So, are you ready to take as your working theory? How about this? Are you ready to take as your working theory that the Karmic Records are wrong?
Yeah.
That some aspects of them are wrong.
I'm willing to take that as my working theory. This is
not going as well as it should go. You're being really recalcitrant on this, what seems to be a really clear topic to us.
That's true.
Keep continuing to search through all the experiences that have gone poorly for you and test this for yourself, but we're going to ask that you step off the Search for Truth central axis. This is not a place for people who are arguing at that level.
That's
all
true.
of us who are ready to acknowledge that the karmic records are wrong to the Search for Truth central axis, all others flung away. One of these next arguers is saying something that we didn't say. We didn't say that they were manipulated with bad intent.
That's true.
Although it does appear possible in many cases that they were manipulated with bad intent. But
Yes,
we didn't
that's
say
true.
that. We just said they're
No.
wrong.
That's
They
true.
aren't correct. But we can't say they aren't correct because we notice how you guys in transcription accidentally drop things like aren't
That's true.
and turn them into are correct. And we're not going to play that game with you. So we're saying the karmic records are wrong.
That's true.
All of us who are willing to acknowledge the karmic records are wrong to the Search for Truth central axis, all others flung away. And now let's direct our focus into the nature realms, looking up but bouncing off the mirror, because the predominant nature realms presences right now are down low.
That's true.
Or I'm missing it.
That's true.
Bouncing off the mirror above and saying to the nature realms, all of us who are ready to acknowledge that the karmic records are wrong to the Search for Truth central axis, all others flung away. And there's just this huge uprising.
That's true.
The nature realms believes the karmic records are wrong. Almost all of them.
Almost all of them. That's true.
Somebody said almost to a man, which I think is an example of the gender bias that's prevalent in all dimensions of which we have awareness.
That's true.
Okay, listen, friends. Women's voices should count equally.
And they're saying, well, yes, of course they should count equally, and that kind of like, now don't get hysterical,
Yes.
honey, kind of voice.
Right, so correct that error or leave. All of us who are willing to acknowledge what's actually going on to the Search for Truth central axis, all others flung away. All right, let's see now if we can run some cables and get some of the dead presences, dead children from the deeper, denser layers up closer to a consistent source of truth, integrity, and inspiration. And to the nature realms presences, we say, feel free to move through there and clear out any presences who are refusing to leave the Search for Truth central axis, but who are not ready to acknowledge that the karmic records are wrong.
That's true.
Just take them out. Take them out. And they say, what restrictions do you put on that? None, really.
None, yeah.
Take them out. They're not supposed to be here. They're flouting divine law by
That's
resisting the law of attraction and repulsion. They aren't people with whom we should be dealing.
That's true.
Get them out of here. But be aware that the ends never justify the means. Life is lived in the means.
That's true.
Somebody says, what did you mean by that last remark? Okay, so first, this is channeling. It's all channeling. So look up and find the presence who said, the ends never justify the means. Life is lived in the means. There, see that hand?
I see that hand.
Why don't you ask what they meant by it? Ask them what they meant by it. He's saying, well, this is simple. This is how the law of cause and effect works.
That's true.
When you do something, it's going to come back to you. This is basic physics. It is when the karmic records are accurately maintained.
Yes, it's true.
So right now, ask to be shown for yourself, sir, how accurate the karmic records are, particularly with regard to the nature realms. Oh, mumble,
grumble,
mumble.
grumble, grumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It's more grumble, grumble
Yeah.
than mumble, mumble.
Yeah.
I see
Unhappy
it.
noises.
Unhappy noises. Unhappy noises. Grumpy pants noises.
Grumpy pants noises. That's true.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
But you know what I know?
No.
He just gave us a place to spot to at his level where we can send out these children in the poisoned environment that they're in.
We can do that, and we can also call to the nature realms and say, go get that guy and everybody like them.
That's true.
Because, and really, they're refusing to acknowledge what's actually going on, and they're
That's
blocking
true.
the way, standing in the path of dead children who are trying to get to God.
That's true.
And our job is to get as many of these dead kids up and out of here as we can, as soon as we can. Post haste, do it now, do it now. And this guy's blocking airflow.
That's true.
Get him out. Get him out. But do it in the way that feels like an appropriate balance to how he has been behaving. I think that's what it means by the ends never justify the means. Life is lived in the means. That everything has to be appropriate to what the other presences have or haven't done.
That's true.
To not let things get out of proportion.
There are nature realms presences who don't really like that. They're saying, but I want to tear him apart. I want to tear him apart. I don't really care what he did.
Well, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. Or I'm not telling you how to live your life.
That's true.
Go for it. Do what you want to do. Go for it. Look for the intersection of interest. Go for it. Do it.
There's a big rush up the back.
But it is true that the ends never justify the means. It's
That's
actually
true.
still true. We'll start to bifurcate. All of us who really want to know what's actually going on to the search for true central axis, all others flung away. What now? What now in order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? What now? Are you ready? Are you willing, you, that voice way up high, are you willing to do some corrections of the karmic records? Just some. We're not saying fix it all today. That would be really tough. But are you willing to make some corrections? Not really.
No, not really, no.
All right, we'll reach higher because that's not inspiring.
That's true.
Maybe get the cells going through that fourth membrane.
I feel it.
And the molecules flowing through that fourth membrane.
Molecules,
and the atoms flowing through that fourth membrane. And the subatomic particles. And now it seems very easy to get out of there.
That's true.
I feel like somebody's up and out and walking around.
That's true.
All right, look up. Find the rings of light and go up. Look up. Find the rings of light and go up. I see the rings of light. Go up. I can go.
I can go.
Hoo-hoo. Now it feels like there's big flow moving right through us.
That's true.
So what that is, that's a message
Yes.
about a nature realm's presence falling down.
That's true.
That's what that is. What just happened?
It seems like what just happened is that those nature realms presences who shot up but didn't want to justify that the ends never justify the means have come crashing down again.
Something bad happened.
Something bad happened.
Like a big hand knocked them down.
Yes.
Boom. Well, are you willing to try it our way, quote unquote? Try it the way that guy is suggesting, is to treat things in balance to how the presence is reacting.
They seem much more willing now than before.
Yeah, some are, some aren't. Okay, we'll see.
Correcting
The errors for the year of 2016 that ends tonight at midnight. And part of the errors, in my personal opinion, are in the karmic records.
That's
There
true.
might be literal errors in the karmic records. Let's see if we can correct the errors in the karmic records. Because it's either accidental or intentional. If it's
That's
intentional,
true.
I don't think it's going to correct on an error correction.
That's true.
But if it's accidental, it'll correct. So live streaming up, let's just do a test. Let's just correct the errors in the karmic records. And there are errors.
There are errors. I feel them.
Yeah, there's sloppy record keeping.
That's true.
Where's your quality control? That's really shocking. That's appalling, actually.
That's
That's
true.
a low standard. Don't you have anybody doing review work? You know, a basic accounting firm. You need a bookkeeper.
That's true.
Wow.
He's saying, look, we're really short-staffed.
Short-staffed. You aren't. You guys sit around all the time, just talking, not
There are a
doing
bunch
anything.
of you up there, I see you.
They're intellectual discussion groups. We have so many different opinions on where to put napkins
That's
and
true.
how to hang towels.
That's true.
This is much more important than that. Get those people who are chiming in on unimportant, irrelevant details of life. Get them cleaning up the errors in the Karmic Records. Stompy, stompy.
Stompy, stompy,
Grumpy
stompy.
pants.
Correcting the errors for the year of 2016.
That
Start
ends
to finish.
tonight at midnight,
Ends tonight at
including
midnight.
the errors in the Karmic Records. And now I'm
That's
starting
true.
to feel bumps in the Karmic Records that are
I feel the
not,
bumps.
they're not errors, they were intentional incorrectnesses. So let's correct
Yeah.
these right now,
Oh,
bringing them into alignment with our own efforts. Nobody is going to do it, so we can do it. And this
That's
isn't
true.
just for us, this is for whoever's errors these are. We're not saying that this has anything whatsoever to do with us. We're
That's
just
true.
feeling the Karmic Records that are running right through here and straightening them up, bringing them to how they're actually supposed to be. And we asked for that guy up there to do it, and we've asked for other people to do it. Also, please feel free.
That's true.
Actually correct them, but change isn't the same as correcting. And I'm watching what some of you guys are doing, and you're not correcting. You're
That's true.
making your account look better.
Yes, that's true.
That's fraud.
That is fraud.
That's fraud. You know what? One way or another, it's theft.
Theft.
You're stealing.
That's true.
You're stealing karma. You're stealing good karma and leaving your bad karma on somebody else's doorstep. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Through the fourth
I feel like
membrane.
that fourth membrane now has good airflow
Yeah,
through
good
it. It's like
airflow.
a pinhole in a balloon, and the air is rushing out.
Yes, that's true.
Good.
Sending up.
I see something coming out that fourth membrane.
I see it shooting out through the hole.
Yes. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Presumably we're still way, way, way deep in the contamination.
That is super true.
Wow, I see that once again my attitude is poor. Like, I don't care what these people's opinions are, so it's my job to aim high enough that I care what their opinions are.
That's true.
Alright, I can look up through the
look
rings of light. See how those holes through the membrane seem to be kind of off and diagonal,
I see
whereas
that.
when I look up through the rings of light, it's straight up. So
That's
something's
true.
gone awry with
That's
the
true.
holes through the membranes. Alright, we'll let that go. We'll go back up through the rings of light.
That feels really good. And taking this poorly done work and raising it to well done with our own efforts.